Welcome back to GH Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the exciting developments unfolding in Port Charles, where relationships are being tested, secrets are emerging, and characters are making bold moves that will reshape the landscape of this beloved drama. Family secrets and hidden truths. Lois Cerullo finds herself cornered at the Quartermaine mansion as Brooklyn Quartermaine demands answers about the baby she gave up years ago. The revelation came through Martin Gray's case notes, discovered by Lulu Spencer in his suite, confirming that Brooklyn had given birth to a boy. This bombshell has shattered Brooklyn's understanding of her past and placed Lois in a precarious position. "I've always suspected you knew more than you were telling me," Brooklyn might say, her voice trembling with a mixture of anger and hurt as she confronts her mother in the ornate living room of the mansion. Lois will desperately attempt to conceal the complete truth while navigating Brooklyn's intense questioning. Her primary concern remains protecting the secret that Giovanni Gio Palmieri is actually Brooklyn and Dante's grown child. The weight of this decades-old secret threatens to collapse Lois's carefully constructed narrative, potentially destroying multiple relationships in the process. The elegant Quartermaine mansion, with its rich history of family secrets and confrontations, serves as the perfect backdrop for this emotionally charged scene. The antique furniture and family portraits silently witness yet another Quartermaine drama unfolding, adding to the mansion's storied past. Reconnections and revelations. The relationship between Dante Falconeri and Lulu Spencer takes a significant turn as they spend quality time reconnecting. Following Maxie Jones's revelation that Lulu had intended to confess her feelings before falling into a coma, Dante approaches their interactions with renewed sensitivity and understanding. Their reunion might be interrupted by news regarding Charlotte Cassadine, who has been located in Buenos Aires. This development could prompt Lulu to seek comfort in Dante's embrace, further strengthening their emotional bond. The chemistry between them, never fully extinguished despite their separation, reignites as they navigate these challenging circumstances together. "I never stopped caring about you," Dante might whisper as Lulu processes the news about Charlotte, his protective instincts surfacing as he witnesses her vulnerability. Meanwhile, Emma Drake and Gio Palmieri continue to strengthen their connection while discussing Tracy Quartermaine's arrest. Unaware of Joe's true parentage, Emma finds herself drawn to his compassionate nature and insightful perspective on the Quartermaine family drama. Their blossoming relationship adds another layer of complexity to the already intricate web of Port Charles relationships. Power plays and broken alliances. At the Port Charles Police Department, Drew Quartermaine executes a bold and smug move against Tracy Quartermaine during her interrogation. His intimidation tactics and threats demonstrate his belief that he holds the upper hand in their conflict. Drew's aggressive approach in the stark, fluorescent-lit interrogation room showcases his determination to maintain control. "You thought you were clever, Tracy, but you've underestimated me," Drew might say with a self-satisfied smirk, leaning across the metal table separating them. However, Tracy's experience and resilience suggest that Drew's confidence might be premature. The Quartermaine matriarch has weathered numerous storms throughout her life and possesses resources that Drew may have overlooked in his quest for dominance. Elsewhere in Port Charles, Portia Robinson attempts to broker peace between Curtis Ashford and Drew. Her efforts stem from the necessity to play along with Drew's schemes while attorney Rick Lansing works behind the scenes to find a more favorable resolution. Despite Portia's diplomatic approach and logical arguments for reconciliation, Curtis firmly rejects the possibility of a truce. "Some bridges can't be rebuilt once they're burned," Curtis might declare, his resolve evident in his stance and tone as he dismisses Portia's suggestion. Curtis instead proceeds with his plan to publicly denounce Drew through the press, a decision that intensifies Portia's concerns about potential repercussions. Her fears are soon validated when Rick delivers troubling news that could further complicate their strategy against Drew. International intrigue and strategic alliances. Anna Devane continues to focus on the elusive Valentine Cassadine, who evaded custody and remains at large. Her determination to resolve the situation leads her to consider an alliance with Jack Brennan, a development that immediately raises red flags for Jason Morgan. "You're making a mistake trusting Brennan," Jason might warn Anna in a tense conversation, his experience with betrayal informing his skepticism. Jason's distrust of Brennan stems from past interactions and his instinctive ability to assess character. The preview video captures Jason alluding to someone's error in judgment, likely referring to Anna's potential deal with Brennan to lift the kill order on Valentine. The international scope of this storyline, extending from Port Charles to potential WSB operations, adds a thrilling dimension to the local drama. Anna's strategic thinking and Jason's cautious approach create an interesting dynamic as they navigate this high-stakes situation. Career decisions and financial independence. Sasha Gilmore Corbin meets with Carly Spencer to discuss the job offer extended to her. Having recently accepted Jen Sidwell's $250,000 deal, Sasha approaches this conversation with new options and financial flexibility. "I appreciate your offer, Carly, and I've given it serious thought," Sasha might begin, carefully weighing her words in Carly's stylish office. While Sasha may accept the position Carly has offered, her newfound financial security might influence her decision regarding the accompanying living arrangements. The substantial payment from Sidwell provides Sasha with the means to secure her own residence, potentially altering the terms of Carly's original proposal. This interaction highlights Sasha's journey toward independence and recovery, as she makes decisions that will shape her future in Port Charles. Carly's mentorship and support represent important factors in Sasha's consideration, balancing against her desire for autonomy. As these storylines converge and evolve, Port Charles experiences significant shifts in alliances, relationships, and power dynamics. From the Quartermain family secrets threatening to surface through Lois and Brooke Lynn's confrontation to the strategic maneuvers of Anna and Jason in their pursuit of Valentine, the community remains in constant flux. The reconnection between Dante and Lulu, Curtis's rejection of reconciliation with Drew, and Sasha's career decisions all contribute to the rich tapestry of Port Charles' life. Each character navigates personal and professional challenges while their paths intersect in unexpected ways, creating the compelling drama that defines this beloved fictional world. The coming days promise further developments as these storylines unfold, revealing new complications and resolutions that will continue to captivate viewers and reshape the Port Charles landscape. Next, we will learn about the explosive situation brewing between Carly Spencer, Jack Brennan, and Josslyn Jacks that threatens to tear apart relationships and expose dangerous secrets in Port Charles. A mother's wrath awaits. The tranquil facade of Port Charles belies the emotional tempest brewing beneath its surface. Jason Morgan's persistent warnings about Jack Brennan's untrustworthiness have fallen on Carly Spencer's deaf ears, creating a foundation for what promises to be an epic confrontation. The seasoned viewers of General Hospital recognize the telltale signs of an approaching storm, one that will likely leave emotional devastation in its wake when Carly finally discovers the web of deception that has ensnared both her and her daughter. Carly's blind spot for Brennan might be her greatest vulnerability, notes veteran GH analyst Maria Chambers. Her willingness to dismiss Jason's concerns shows just how effectively Brennan has manipulated her perception. When the truth eventually surfaces, and in Port Charles, secrets never stay buried, Carly will undoubtedly direct her legendary fury not only at Brennan but also inward. The self-recrimination will be particularly bitter as she reflects on ignoring Jason's counsel. Jason, whose loyalty to Carly has withstood countless trials over the decades, attempted to shield her from this very heartbreak. The dynamic between Jason and Carly has always been one of the show's most enduring relationships, explains longtime fan and social media commentator Derek Walsh. His protective instincts toward her are rarely wrong, which makes her dismissal of his warnings about Brennan all the more significant. The impending revelation will likely trigger Carly's protective maternal instincts, transforming her from a woman in love to a vengeful mother bear. Port Charles residents know all too well that crossing Carly Spencer, especially where her children are concerned, inevitably leads to catastrophic consequences. Self-deception and bitter realizations. As the truth inches closer to the surface, Carly stands on the precipice of a painful epiphany. The realization that she's been intimately involved with a lying liar who lies will strike at the core of her self-image as a shrewd judge of character. This bitter pill will be particularly difficult to swallow given her history of priding herself on her ability to see through deception. The waterfront docks, where Carly has had numerous confrontations throughout her tumultuous history in Port Charles, might once again become the setting for an explosive showdown. The harbor's dark waters and shadowy corners have witnessed countless revelations and betrayals, a fitting backdrop for Carly's moment of reckoning. Carly's character has evolved significantly over the years, observes Dr. Elaine Winters, a psychology professor who occasionally analyzes soap opera character development. But her fundamental need to protect her children and her fierce reaction to betrayal remain consistent elements of her personality. Brennan has essentially triggered both of these core aspects simultaneously. The emotional fallout will likely reverberate throughout Port Charles, affecting not only the primary players but also their extended network of relationships. Longtime residents might find themselves forced to choose sides, creating new alliances and enmities in the process. The inevitable explosion. Chris McKenna, who brings the complex character of Jack Brennan to life, has candidly acknowledged the precarious position his character occupies. During his revealing interview with Soap Opera Digest, McKenna expressed genuine uncertainty about Brennan's fate once all his machinations come to light. The writers have crafted a psychological powder keg, notes television critic Jonathan Pearson. McKenna's performance has brilliantly captured Brennan's conflicted nature, a man torn between professional duty and personal attachment, making choices that virtually guarantee future catastrophe. McKenna's foreshadowing of an explosion seems almost understated given the magnitude of Brennan's deceptions. The actor's apparent resignation to his character's potential downfall suggests that even Brennan himself might recognize the inevitability of consequences. In the soap universe, particularly in General Hospital, karma eventually comes calling, explains veteran soap writer Melissa Thornton. The writers have established Brennan as someone making morally questionable choices for what he perceives as noble reasons, a classic tragic figure whose downfall is written into his very characterization. The anticipated confrontation between Carly and Brennan promises to be a showcase for both actors, potentially delivering one of those memorable General Hospital moments that fans will reference for years to come. The greater good versus personal betrayal. The moral complexity of Brennan's position adds a fascinating dimension to this unfolding drama. His justification that his actions served the greater good creates an ethical dilemma that transcends simple villainy. Brennan genuinely believes in the importance of recruiting Josslyn for the WSB and the specific mission he has in mind. The WSB has long been a plot device in General Hospital that allows for morally ambiguous storytelling, observes soap historian Patricia Langford. From Robert Scorpio to Anna Devane, the organization has consistently placed characters in positions where personal relationships conflict with national security concerns. Brennan's conviction that his ends justify his means reflects a utilitarian ethical framework that directly conflicts with Carly's more relationship-focused moral code. This philosophical clash underpins the personal conflict brewing between them. He's walking a tightrope without a net, McKenna explained during his interview, capturing the precarious nature of Brennan's position. The actor's insight that Brennan nearly lost Carly once before adds another layer of complexity to his character's willingness to risk their relationship again. The Port Charles Metro Court, where Carly has built her business empire, might become the stage for a public confrontation that forces Brennan to defend his utilitarian ethics to a woman who values loyalty above all else. The elegant surroundings would provide a stark contrast to the raw emotions likely to erupt. Josslyn's precarious position. Perhaps the most vulnerable figure in this complex scenario is Josslyn Jacks herself. Caught between Brennan's manipulation and her mother's impending fury, Josslyn faces a crisis of identity and loyalty that could define her character's trajectory for years to come. Josslyn's character has been evolving from a teenager into a young adult with agency, notes character analyst Simon Rodriguez. This storyline accelerates that evolution by forcing her to navigate competing loyalties and ethical dilemmas without the safety net of parental guidance. The deadly confrontation with Cyrus Renault at the cabin represents a turning point in Josslyn's life, a moment when theoretical morality collided with survival instinct. Brennan's subsequent decision to frame Jason Morgan for her actions added another layer of complicity to their relationship, binding them in a conspiracy that violates Carly's most fundamental values. The cabin scene was filmed with exceptional attention to psychological detail, recalls set designer Victoria Chen. The isolated location, with its rustic interior and surrounding woods, created a visual metaphor for Josslyn's moral isolation in that moment of crisis. Brennan's recruitment of Josslyn into the WSB training program without Carly's knowledge demonstrates his willingness to manipulate both mother and daughter to achieve his objectives. This calculated deception suggests a pattern of behavior that raises questions about his trustworthiness in all aspects of his life. The WSB training facility set was designed to contrast sharply with the familiar comfort of the Spencer household, Chen adds. We wanted viewers to feel Josslyn's disorientation as she steps into this new world without her mother's knowledge or blessing. The tangled web of deception. The intricate tapestry of lies that Brennan has woven creates a narrative house of cards that cannot possibly remain standing. His decision to frame Jason Morgan, a man with deep connections throughout Port Charles and particular significance to Carly, demonstrates either strategic recklessness or desperate improvisation. Framing Jason wasn't just a practical decision to protect Josslyn, theorizes plot analyst Rebecca Winters. It reveals Brennan's willingness to sacrifice anyone, even someone Carly trusts implicitly, to advance his agenda. This particular deception carries special significance given Jason's history as Carly's most steadfast ally. By targeting Jason, Brennan has unwittingly created a powerful enemy who combines strategic intelligence with unwavering loyalty to Carly. The scenes between Jason and Brennan have been masterfully crafted to highlight their fundamental incompatibility, notes dialogue coach Martin Feldman. Their exchanges, though superficially civil, contain undercurrents of distrust and antagonism that foreshadow their inevitable conflict. As these deceptions multiply and interconnect, the potential for catastrophic revelation grows exponentially. Each lie requires additional fabrications to maintain, creating an unsustainable situation that even a trained operative like Brennan cannot indefinitely control. Chris McKenna's performance insights. Chris McKenna's candid reflections on his character's motivations provide valuable insight into the creative process behind this compelling storyline. His rhetorical question, "What the hell was he thinking?" captures the fundamental irrationality of Brennan's romantic entanglement with Carly given his professional objectives. McKenna brings a fascinating vulnerability to Brennan, observes acting coach Sofia Ramirez. Despite the character's calculated manipulations, McKenna infuses him with enough humanity that viewers can understand, if not condone, his choices. The actor's acknowledgement that Brennan is diving in too deep suggests an awareness that his character has crossed professional boundaries in ways that jeopardize both his mission and his personal happiness. This self-awareness adds complexity to what might otherwise be a one-dimensional villain role. The best soap antagonists are those who believe they're the heroes of their own stories, explains veteran GH writer Thomas Keller. McKenna's portrayal captures that essential quality. Brennan truly believes his actions serve a greater purpose, despite the personal betrayals they entail. McKenna's uncertainty about how the storyline will ultimately resolve reflects the open-ended nature of soap opera narratives. This narrative flexibility allows writers to respond to audience reactions and actor chemistry, potentially altering Brennan's fate based on viewer engagement with the character. As this explosive storyline continues to unfold, General Hospital viewers can anticipate dramatic confrontations, emotional revelations, and potentially life-altering consequences for all involved. The writers have established a narrative powder keg that promises spectacular drama when finally ignited. The pacing of this storyline has been masterful, observes television critic Amanda Chen. The writers have gradually increased the tension, allowing viewers to anticipate the inevitable confrontation while still maintaining uncertainty about exactly how and when it will occur. When Carly finally discovers the full extent of Brennan's manipulation, particularly his involvement of Josslyn in both the Cyrus Renault situation and the WSB, the resulting confrontation will likely rank among General Hospital's most memorable moments. Laura Wright, who portrays Carly with nuanced emotional intensity, excels in precisely these types of high-stakes dramatic scenes. Laura Wright has consistently demonstrated her ability to make Carly's anger simultaneously frightening and sympathetic, notes acting coach Ramirez. Her performance in the revelation scenes will likely showcase the full range of her considerable talents.